So hi guys, welcome. We are already in the final video of the final module of this wonderful redesign course. I know you've been learning lots. Today we are actually one of my favorite stores, Courts Mega Store. I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite shopping tips. The things that Niki uses, the things that Niki does when she goes shopping for her clients and even for herself and her family. Alright, so shopping is definitely an integral part of making your space better. But before we go into those shopping tips, let me just share a few ideas with you guys just to get us started and on the right track. Okay, many times we think of shopping and we think, oh my gosh, but Niki, I don't have the amount of money to spend and so forth. The good thing, you have a wide variety when you're shopping at Courts, that's one. And then two, when you take the time to assess and to plan ahead, it makes it so much easier. So the first tip I would share with you is to plan ahead. First of all, decide on which room am I going to upgrade, which room am I going to redesign or improve. You go into that room and you look at it, you assess it, you assess your needs. Do you need an entire furniture piece or do you just need a few accessories? Good news is that Courts carries both. All right, so you've assessed your room, you've looked around. The next thing I would normally do is to shop my home. You see, when I tell you guys about making sure you use neutral pieces, this is what I'm talking about. Because when your walls are neutral, your furniture pieces are neutral. And by the way, blue is a neutral color. It's considered neutral. Look how many colors you can pair with it, right? But when you buy neutral pieces, then it makes it so much easier to interchange the pieces within the different spaces of your home. I do it all the time. So sometimes an old piece can take on new life by simply being repositioned in another room. All right? Then you want to, besides deciding whether you need furniture or accessories, you want to try moving around the furniture. Sometimes just reorienting a space makes a world of difference. So after you've rearranged your space, you move some furniture pieces around, you assess them. Is this good? Am I going to keep this? Am I going to toss this? Whatever the case may be. The next thing you want to do would be to make a list. Making lists are important. I mean, I literally made a list of everything I wanted to be reminded of seeing last night, but I did it on my phone and I also did it on another backup booklet that I had. Guess what? I forgot the book at home, or the little booklet that I have at home, and my phone is off right now. So taking lists the old-fashioned way goes a long way as well. Your phone can discharge, all manner of things can happen. So you make a list. You know what you want, what you need, and you stick to it. The next thing is to decide on a budget and stick to that budget. When you come into stores like this, it is very possible that you are sidetracked and derailed. It's very easy to be tempted, okay? So you want to make sure you have a budget and you stick to it. Another thing, don't be sucked in by sales. Now, a sale is a good thing. I always tell people S-A-L-E is one of my favorite four-letter words, right? But you have to stay on target and on track to make sure you redesign on a dime or redesign within your means. It doesn't have to be exorbitant, it doesn't have to be super expensive. And the final thing I will share with you is don't settle. You may see something that you like, but it's not exactly what you were looking for. Take a moment, take the time, and you will find exactly the piece that really speaks to you. And that piece that really speaks to you, we call them the statement piece, because it's what is going to probably evoke emotions, is going to encourage conversation, as they call it, the conversational piece. Make sure you choose that. They're no longer using the living room set that I had used, they're using something else. This looks like a brand new sectional, not a problem. They have kept the TV unit styled pretty much like I had left it. They added a couple things, right? But they also swapped out the coffee table that I had at the place at that time. Reason being, I was looking for this coffee table to go with the TV unit. They all are part of the rustic line, but it wasn't available in store then. So chances are you settle for something you don't really like, and then it might be available at another branch. Whenever you're shopping, I can speak for where I'm at right now. You try to form relationships with your CSRs, with your attendants, with your store managers and supervisors. It goes a long way. So you come into a store, you can't find something, talk to one of the friendly staff members. Have those kinds of relationships, they really do pay off, because many times they'll get on the phone and they'll try to see if they can source it for you, and before you know it, you don't have to settle because your product is on its way. Another important thing, when you're going to do your shopping and stuff is to measure your space. That's important. Remember, you want to design the space you have, not the one you hope for. So make sure you take your dimensions and also work with that toolkit I keep telling you guys about. Now, it doesn't have to be as stuffed as the last time you saw it. Just take a few key items out and I'll show you exactly what you need when you need to go shopping. So here we go. Unless you could walk around with your whole wall on your back, which I doubt unless you're strong as Samson, you need to work with some measure of swatches. Whether you go to the paint store and you get some color swatches that you're thinking of using, or you have your fan deck, which we spoke about in the earlier modules, you need to work with it. This is going to help you to match your stuff up accordingly. The next thing from my toolkit that I must work with, of course, would be, well, of course, my wallet to pay, right? So the next thing you want to have is your measuring tape. Remember, this is an integral part of redesigning any space. So you would have measured your space at home, but you want to work with this as well. Whether you're buying a big ticket item like a sofa, table, or whatever, or you're buying smaller items, even wall art and accessories, your wall should, depending on the size of the wall, your wall art, if there's nothing else on the wall, should be about half to 2/3 the size of the wall in terms of width. You want to make that the statement piece. So you don't want to miss that calculation. You don't want to be off. You need to know, okay, if I see this piece and I like it, do I need to buy 2 of it because of the space that it needs to fill? So that's why working with your measuring tape is so important. And the final thing, after we have looked at our paint colors, we have measured and everything, we make sure we have those things in our toolkit. Do not shop just based on trends. I would have mentioned in an earlier module that one of the things I want you to avoid is designing an entire space based on a particular trend. We have the Japandi style right now that's trending with the wood paneling and stuff. I'm telling you guys, in the not too distant future, that trend will fade out. That's why fads fade. So it's okay to use a little bit of it, right? But when you're shopping as well, don't think only of trends. See how you could maybe use it in small doses in little areas of your home. So don't break the bank on a trend because trends and fads fade. So since we're already in this space, let's stick here. Now the last time I did use this TV unit and it's from the rustic line. I love this because it literally is a nod to the rustic design style. Now the sectional doesn't necessarily go with it, but the thing about it is that's why you want to shop things that you absolutely love. So not because you happen to love the rustic means that everything has to be rustic. If you like this piece like I do, it's okay to use it in your space even if you don't have a rustic interior design style. All right, so one of the reasons why I like it is because it's solid wood. It's very hard to find pieces these days, wooden pieces these days that's actually wood. Most of them are engineered pieces, right? So this is actually solid wood, so I like that about it. The other thing that I like about this piece is it's multifunctional. Here's what I mean. Right now, this entertainment unit can be used as one cohesive, one piece, but this is a separate part. So you don't necessarily have to use this if you don't want to. And these two can also be standalone shelves. So if, for example, you have to downsize your home, these can definitely be used. This could be used as a floating shelf in another room. This could be used as a bookshelf in a bedroom. This could be used, of course, for the intended purpose as a TV unit. But that's what I say. When you have to invest in key pieces, especially when they're substantial in price, try to find pieces that are multifunctional, that you can use in a variety of ways, okay? So what I liked about this, besides it being solid wood, being in the rustic line, I can do so much more with this, all right? So that's one of the things I liked about this set. Rustic is being paired with a more contemporary piece. And what does contemporary mean? Contemporary is just a mixture of, it's pretty much whatever is trending. So right now, people like their sectionals, the color is pretty neutral. If you look at the legs as well, it all speaks to very clean lines. That's basically contemporary. Now modern is the same thing, but it's a little different, all right? So this rustic piece was paired with this contemporary, one might call it modern or transitional piece or sectional, but that's okay. We can mix and match design styles. We spoke about that, all right? Now, there is a coffee table in the same rustic line and an entire living room set, but you don't have to have everything matchy-matchy. I mean, who does that? And we're going to talk about that in a minute as well. You don't have to have everything matchy-matchy. You can definitely mix and match your pieces. So when you're shopping, you might need just one thing. It might be you need a new coffee table. You can buy a coffee table that speaks to your design style as opposed to trying to find the exact match to whatever you may already have that's existing that you don't have to replace. All right, so just be kind of flexible, play around with things a bit. They also have the console table in the line. When I had styled this piece before, I used the rustic TV unit, I used a more modern coffee table, and I used a contemporary styled console table the last time, and I will show it to you because it's somewhere over there. But this time they have it, so if you happen to like all three pieces and you want all three pieces in your space, I'll show you how to style this in a minute. Let's take a look at some more furniture that they have to offer. This is a perfect example of what I'm saying when I talk about not shopping trends. Now, a lot of people, like I said, I go back to the wood paneling. If you want to do wood paneling in your space, this is a fantastic way to do it. It's not going to be fixed onto your wall where it will be a headache to remove when the trend is gone. This is a lovely entertainment unit. It will be stylish regardless of what. But guess what? It also mimics the very same style. So instead of ripping down whatever and putting up a whole lot of wood paneling on your wall itself, especially if you're a renter and you don't have that wherewithal to do those kinds of things, investing in a piece like this that is a nod to the trend without overdoing it is a fantastic compromise. And talking about doing trends in small doses, this is an even better example because you still get the same wood paneling and stuff, but in an even smaller dose, which to me makes it even more timeless. When you're shopping, you want to get timeless pieces that will stand the test of time. You're not shopping the trends and the fads and so forth. And like I said to you before, the piece before that I showed you was wonderful, but this is even better because it will transcend time. Now the good thing is you may be seeing some lovely pieces and saying, oh my gosh, when can I afford this? I can't afford this. That's where Quartz Ready Finance comes into play. You can purchase things now and pay at a later date. So this particular very blue piece, it's 4 pieces and it's a nod to the mid-century modern. What do I mean by mid-century modern? And how can I identify the different furniture pieces to go with the different design styles? Well, first of all, the tapered legs are a dead giveaway to the fact that it's mid-century modern. The color as well is also a nod to the mid-century modern. So while most blues, I would more say like a navy blue would be more of a neutral, this one isn't. But you might say, okay, well, I like the blue, but I don't know if I like throw pillows or whatever. You may find the pieces that you love, but they may not speak to every single thing. You may not cross all the T's for everything you're looking for. That's okay. Go to a fabric store, get something else to swap this out, and make it into the piece that you truly love and that works specifically to your space. Oftentimes, furniture suppliers, retailers tend to sell furniture in sets. You may, for example, want a dining room set that's maybe 7 pieces. That's 6 chairs on the table, or a 5-piece that's a table and 4 chairs, or even a 9-piece that's 8 chairs and 1 table. In my particular case, because of the size of my family, we had to custom build our dining room set. But let's look at living room sets. And I'm so happy because literally I overheard this couple just talking about the situation. If you look at this set, you're seeing there are 3 pieces, and the average person usually will buy all 3 pieces, whether their home can accommodate it or not. The good thing about Quartz that I'm seeing is that each of these pieces has its own price. This is the Samantha sofa, and actually it reclines. I believe does it rock as well? I'm not sure. No, it doesn't rock, but it reclines. It does recline. It's very plush, it doesn't need much, and it's also a lovely neutral shade of a greenish grayish color, which is perfectly neutral. The good thing about it is you can buy what you need. So for example, you just need the full 3-piece sofa, you can buy that. If you need the love seat, you can buy that. If you want a love seat and an armchair, or maybe 2 love seats because it suits your space, buy that. If you happen to be forced to buy an entire 3-piece set because that's how it comes, not a problem. See what other room could probably take one of the pieces of furniture that you don't need. But please, please, for the love of all things designing, do not try to cram 3 pieces in a space that could barely even hold 1.5. So you heard me harping and harping about neutral walls and neutral furniture pieces, your big ticket items. But how do you get to introduce color? With throw pillows. Now, throw pillows have come a very, very long way. They come in a huge variety of sizes and colors and patterns. The good thing is most of them come with zippers. So remember the rule I shared with you guys before. You want your pillows to be really substantial looking. So even though this is an 18 by 18 size pillowcase, I'm going to take the insert out that came with the pillow and buy 1 size up. I'm going to get a 20 by 20 inch insert for this particular pillow. So look at the texture, and this one is obviously faux leather. This is lovely. Now I wouldn't necessarily pair it with this, but I'm just showing you. Then you have this lovely piece. I don't know what, it has a bit of, it's embroidery of course with a little I don't know how to explain it, but it's really textured and really, really bright and lovely. This will actually look pretty nice with this if I wanted to bring some color in. And then of course, to bring the entire thing together, I may add a throw in the same color. And then we have this lovely piece. I could see this on a bed. It's so soft, and the pleating and the texture, it just makes such a rich, beautiful difference to any space, right? And then of course you have this big kahuna. This is probably a 22 by a 22, and again it's kind of flat, so we want to get a bigger 24 by 24 insert, but this can also, I mean, even this will go with this particular set. So even though I may say, you know, let's go with neutral pieces, there are many different ways you can introduce color into a space. You can start with throw pillows, you can go with art, and you can also go with rugs. Let's take a look at a few rugs. I love department stores, and of course it's like my one-stop shop. So not only can I get big furniture items here, but I can also get accessories, smaller items to decorate little spaces, and larger items that can also make a statement. So let's look at some rugs. Now this rug definitely caught my attention. Again, even though you go neutral on your walls, neutral with your large furniture pieces, these are the wonderful ways that you could introduce color into your space. Now look at this. This will definitely be a showstopper and definitely will be an accent piece or a focal piece in your room. And I love how they paired it with the nice bright cobalt blue dining room chairs. This here is a lovely juxtaposition of hard and soft. You know, we talk about contrasting. This is a perfect example of that. So like I said to you before, this rug is a lovely statement piece. It's a showstopper. But based on the rules, the design math I would have taught you, this rug is way too small for this space. But don't let that stop you from buying it if you happen to love it. All you have to do is layer this rug on top of a rug of a solid color to give you the kind of space you need when pulling out your dining room chairs. Remember, even when you pull your dining room chair out to sit, it should still be sitting on your rug. As I said to you guys before, most suppliers tend to provide us with 5x7 rugs. Don't make it a problem. Choose the rug that you love. If you love it, get it, and then just layer another rug on top of it. For example, what I've noticed within recent times is that Courts is bringing in even larger rugs. So this particular one seems to be a 6x9, which, as I said, is the minimum people can use in their spaces. They have a wide variety of rugs. You can get the Oriental or the very traditional ones. This one seems to be another largish one as well. Again, Oriental, very traditional. Not necessarily my vibe, but definitely they have for every taste and every pocket. You know, you never know what you'll find in store. I am not a recliner girl. My husband would love a recliner. But if I have to have something in my space, this will definitely be it. It swivels, it's comfortable, it's modern, yet the curves gives you that nod to another design style. I just love this. I love this. Oh my goodness. This will be good in a living room as well. You buy a sofa and you need 2 accent chairs, but you don't necessarily want to buy the accent chairs or the armchairs that came with the sofa. Definitely you could invest in something that's a contrasting like this, or maybe something that's more neutral like this. It's all about the juxtaposition and the contrasting. So you can go bright and bold on the sofa and maybe a little bit more neutral with the armchairs or the accent chairs, or you can go neutral on the sofa and more prominent with the accent chairs. And this one rocks. Oh my gosh. And it swivels too. You just never know. I mean, why would I go for a recliner, even though they have some really nice ones, when I can have this? And it is so comfortable. So even though I told you guys not to get sucked in by sales and not to be roped in by temptation, here I am, right? So I really love these pieces. It wasn't a part of my list, but maybe I want it. The good thing is that Ready Finance is very ready and willing and available to help me in these kind of situations. So it doesn't have to be a conundrum per se. I can literally buy what I need now and pay it off a little later. And of course, before I go, I could not leave that console table as I met it. So I went through this store, found a few accessories that I found would make a difference, and I did exactly that.